Hello everyone, welcome to my NestJS tutorial with Prisma and Postgres. We're gonna build a task management application in NestJS, and I'm gonna use Prisma ORM and Postgres database. So let's talk about the application features we're gonna build. This application will have user registration. A user can register an account. A user can log into his account. We will have this endpoint /users/create and /users/login. A user can create new tasks with title, description, and a status of the task. A user can view all the tasks. A user can uh, update the task. Actually, he can change the status of the task. It's just a minimal basic task based application. A user can delete the task. So these are all the features we're gonna build. Let's do some project setup. Make sure you have installed NestCLI globally on your machine. If you don't have, you need to install NestCLI. Now you need to create a new project. Let's create a new project, and I'm gonna name it to NestJS Prisma Tutorial Production. You can choose any name, or I can use it here, new NestJS Prisma Tutorial. It will create a sample application for me. I'm gonna use npm You can see that a new project has created. I'm gonna move to this folder. I'm gonna go into this directory. Now I can open that project into my VS Code editor. If you run the project by using this command npm run *dev, it's gonna start the application at port 3000. This is our project. I'm sure you are familiar with NestJS. If you wanna learn the basics of NestJS, I have a complete video on NestJS Foundation. You can watch that. Let's create a new branch for the project setup. My application is running now. If I go to the localhost :3000, and you should see the hello world. They have a root route for our application. Here we have a root route, and it's returning a simple hello world message. Hello world, you can see that. Now we need to set up Prisma in our application. For that, you need to install Prisma CLI. I have to install the Prisma as a dev dependency. Prisma has installed. Now I would like to set up some Prisma file. I'm gonna run this command npx prisma init. It will generate a schema file for me where you will configure your database. We are going to use Postgres. So Prisma init has generated the schema.prisma file. This is here you will configure your Postgres database configuration, and we are using Prisma client. Prisma client will provide the CRUD operations to manage or to interact with database. By default, they have set the Postgres provider. If you want to use MySQL, you place it here. If you want to use SQLite, you will place it here. this database URL, you gotta define this database URL in the env folder. Here we have env file. Here we have env file. You will provide your connection string here. They have already written the documentation for the next step. Please update your database URL in the env file and select the provider. We're going to use Postgres. And if you have any data, if you want to turn your database schema into Prisma schema, don't worry, I'll talk about that. We'll also use Prisma generate command in the future. Now it's time to connect with Postgres. Make sure you have installed pgadmin on your machine. I have already installed that Postgres. I have installed Postgres. You gotta connect with your database. We need to create a new database first. I can choose a database name, Prisma Task App, or you can say Nest Prisma Task. This is the name of my database, and you need to find your configurations like properties. You can go to the properties. You need to find your host name, your port name, your username, and your password. So let me update the connection string for the Postgres. For me, it's a Postgres, the username is Postgres. Here Postgres, and you don't need to change the port, and you need to provide your password. For me, it's a root. Here you gotta provide the name of your database just like we created here. Here we created this database. That's all you need. We have specified the env URL. We are using Postgres, and this will provide some CRUD API to interact with database. We're going to use Prisma client to make database query. Let's run the application to see are we going to get any error or everything will be fine. So you can run the application in dev mode by using this command. My application is running. I did not get any error. If I refresh it, I got the hello world. It means we have successfully connected our application with NestJS, with Postgres and a Prisma. In the next video, we're going to create some models to sync our model into table. I'll show you the magic of Prisma. Why do we need Prisma? You will define your model here just like that, and here you will define the schema in the object oriented way. You need to define the type, and I can set the default to UUID, or you can say auto increment. Just like you gotta follow this process. So I can say unique. That's it. So this is how you will define your schema file. What Prisma will do, it will generate a database table for me in my database. Here Nest Prisma task, it will convert this schema into a table. Whatever properties you defined here, it will be treated into database columns. So Prisma also provide another advantage. It will also provide a Prisma client API. It's a programming interface to interact with this database, Prisma task database. It provides a function like create task, delete task, update task, just like that. For each model for the user, it will provide me create user, update user, and delete user. In the next video, we'll create some models to learn the basics of Prisma.